I'm Angela from CraftyGoat.com, and today I'm going to show you how to make this polymer clay pen using a bamboo skewer. Here are the things you'll need. A bamboo skewer. You can get these at a grocery store for about $1 for 100 of them, really cheap. You also need your clay. I use about 1/4 of a block. You'll need a release agent. This is Vaseline. You could also use cornstarch or baby powder. You need your ink refill, and you can use any pen. It doesn't have to be oven safe because you're just using this part. And you also need eyelets, just the kind that you buy at the scrapbooking store. What we're going to do is cover the bamboo skewer with the clay, and then after we bake it, we'll take the bamboo skewer out and replace it with the ink refill. The first thing I'm going to do is to cut my bamboo skewer. And I want it about the same length as my pen refill. I'm actually just going to score it with the scissors. And then snap it at that point. Next I'm going to cover the bamboo skewer with Vaseline. This will make it a little easier to remove the pen from the bamboo skewer later. I've rolled out my clay into a ball. I'm just going to pierce this till the ball's right in the middle of my skewer. And now I'm going to roll this until that ball covers the whole skewer. You don't want to let the clay get too loose on here. So if it starts to get loose, you probably want to press it in. Okay, now I'm going to close off this blunt end. And for this end, I'm going to smooth it out and then use this eyelet with the thicker part at the bottom to make a pen tip. And you really don't want any clay on the thinner part of this pointed end, because otherwise it'll be too hard to get the clay off of the bamboo skewer. Adding the eyelet now lets us make that impression. That way we can glue it on and it'll stay better after we bake it. We're ready to bake this. I'm going to put it in my little accordion cardstock folder. I'm going to bake my clay for 30 minutes according to the manufacturer's instructions. I'm also going to let it cool about 10 minutes. You don't want it to cool all the way because the clay is more flexible and it'll be easier to pull the skewer out, but you want to let it cool enough so you're not going to burn your fingers. The first thing I'm going to do is remove this eyelet and set it aside. Now I'm going to use my pliers to pull out the wooden skewer. Sometimes it helps to press down like this, bunch up the clay, and that way you can get a better grasp on the skewer. If you have trouble getting the skewer out, one thing you can do is warm the clay back up, just for 5 minutes or so, just to make sure the clay is good and flexible. Another thing you can do, if you really can't get it out, is to slit the clay just along the side and pull the skewer out that way. You can always use TLS or some super glue to fix it later. Now we're ready to insert the pen refill. Just slide it right in. It looks like this one is going to be a little bit too long. You really want the tip right there to be right at this end of the clay. So what I can do is use scissors and trim off a little bit of my pen refill. You just want to make sure you don't cut it down in the ink part. much better. Now I'm going to slide the eyelet on here, and to make sure it sticks, I'm going to use some super glue. Slide the eyelet on there, and there you go. You've got a pin made from a bamboo skewer. Now that you know the basics of covering a bamboo stick with polymer clay, there's all sorts of variations. You could use gold leaf, you could use texture plates, you could use alcohol inks. Here are some examples that I've done. These are alcohol inks. Here's one that has some wire and flowers. This one I did some twisting while it was still on the bamboo skewer and then added the alcohol inks. So there's a lot of variations. Thanks for joining me today. I've got lots more polymer clay tips and tricks on my blog at blog.craftygoat.com. Hope you'll come and check it out. Thanks.